all, we're going to go ahead and start working with the queries. Something very interesting. In my belief, that's really where the heart of a database, or actually where most of the interaction of the database takes place. You design your tables very well. You create the forms in order to assist the end user to have a pleasant, good-looking type of data entry. But any question that you need to answer for the business, it has to be done directly through the query. So query is really where all the guts of the database and all the questions that need to be answered, whether it's for managers or end users, or to come up with maybe even some calculated field that didn't even exist to start with. Most of the databases, as we all know, has an ad hoc type of reporting where it gives you the option to create something spontaneously. This is another discussion, but I just want you to know how critical it is for you to really be able to use the query side, because the query side not only is going to answer the question, it's going to be based on learning another language. It's called SQL. So that's really where most of databases is going to be required from you to how to communicate with them through the SQL, the structured query language. So always keep the word query in your mind, because that's where the juice coming for any database that you're going to be manipulating in the future. Anyway, let's go ahead and create our query. We're going to go ahead and go to query by design. We do have, as you notice, our 3 tables, and as you notice, I'm trying to really put them in order by clicking on first on the table author, and then I clicked in the junction because I would like to see it in the middle and the table book, but no big deal. I mean, if you could move those ironically to anywhere you want, I like them to look like that, just to help me visualize which one is connected to which. Obviously, the table author is connected to the junction table as one-to-many, and the table book is also connected to the junction table as one-to-many. I want you to know that I'm going to be able to put the table author, from the table author, the author first name, second name. I'm not going to mess up with those because it's really not going to be critical for me at this moment as a business question to know the list of the authors, and also with the books that I want. Even the ISBN number is not going to be critical for me. I wanted the title of the book for sure. I wanted the subject of the book and the price for sure. We could go ahead and get a date of publication, whether it's a hardcover or not. Let's go ahead and put the hardcover or not. That would be enough. So we have now first name, last name, table, subject, price, and hardcover or not. I wanted to have the author name and the author last name as one piece of data. Of course, much easier for us to do this because we already decided to have those separate when we started the database by designing those in the table author. So let me go ahead and show you how we can concatenate those. We concatenate those by going to another blank columns, and it's going to be, now it's a calculated field. The calculation, don't think about it only as a numerical value. The calculation could be concatenating, meaning joining 2 or more text or strings. Also, it can be numerical calculation based on the rule of order that we have studied in Excel or any other programming languages. Of course, there's a lot of built-in function in Access, not as much as you will see in Excel, that can be very helpful. To make it a short story, so here we're going to really go ahead and create the full name. I'm going to utilize the builder. It's giving me an area here to really work with it directly, and I'm going to say my new field name is going to be full name, no space, because that might be also used later into a programming or being accessed programmatically, so I need to have it no space. I will actually change that in the caption as you will see me, and I will be able to really change it to 2 words full name. So full name, colon, very important to notice that I'm creating a new field. I'm calling full name colon, and it's going to be author, hopefully I'm not misspelling that, author first, and the ampersand double quotes, space, to separate the first name from the last name, another double quotes, ampersand, and we're going to say author last, author last. And now this is going to actually concatenate those two names for me. And I'm going to go ahead and say OK. Notice it's added to here. I'm going to hit enter to confirm this. If I do run my query, you will notice that full name actually have the first name and last name as one single unit. You will tell me, I don't like that C full name as one word. What we could do about it, I will tell you, okay, no big deal. I'm going to go ahead and remove the this one here. Maybe I could leave it like here, and I will do something about it. When I change the view, back to the design, in order to go back and do it, I could click on that a new calculate field, go to the property, and I could go ahead and drag the property for you to see it here, and I could go into the caption, and say this should be really called full name. And I'm going to go ahead and say, okay, that's really what I want. If I do run this, you will notice it's going to be full name here in the top. So do differentiate between the caption of an attributes and an actual name for the attributes. Alright, so let's go ahead and also make sure that we could go ahead and uncheck the first name and the last name, because I don't want to show them. And I could click on this one here. Look here what I'm doing here in the bottom from the top, and I'm going to go ahead and move it all the way to the beginning. So the full name will be on the beginning of the list. Of course, author name and author last name, first name, last name, don't ever delete them because we need them, and that's really what calculated the loss. Not because we're not showing them, that means they shouldn't be there. We're going to go ahead and calculate the tax for the that we're going to pay based on 8.25%. I could go ahead and click also on the builder here. In order to do this, I type tax colon, I'll say price multiplied by 0.0825 based on Texas tax rate. And again, I will hit enter. If this one here didn't show as currency, I will click on the right button, property, and notice here I could go to the format, and I could go ahead and change that to currency to make sure that that's going to look as currency instead of an actual number. And the last thing that I need is to really get the price plus the tax in order to get the full price. So this is another calculated field, and I'm going to use the builder here to show it to you, and it's going to be full price, and it's going to be colon, of course, a price plus the tax that I got. And again, I would hit enter to confirm that, and go to the property, go to the format, and make sure this is a currency, just in case it would not show it to me. And I'm going to go ahead and run this. You will notice that the price is here, tax is showing here, the full price in here. I forgot to really change the full price into a 2 words using the caption. We'll go ahead and do it anyway. Here we go. The caption here is full price, and we're going to go ahead and make sure that everything we're looking for is exactly how it should look like. So we have the full name, we have the title, we have the subject, we have the price, we have whether the book is hardcover or not, tax, and full price. You'll tell me, should I really move the hardcover to the left of the price? I'll think maybe that's a good idea. I'll go ahead and click on the design, click on this one here, and move it to the left, so the price and the tax and the full price, all of them next to each other. This is what it's going to be actually showing. Of course, you could add parameter query to any of those lists. You could say I wanted to just look for the prices that are greater than or equal to $50. You could easily do that for greater than or equal bracket, greater, enter the price. So that actually can be also much more manipulated query than just basically what I'm showing to you initially is to really how to calculate some new field and to filter through the list of the data. You might be easily using additional criteria. I'm going to go ahead and run it one more time just to my satisfaction. If everything looks good, I'm going to go ahead and stop here because we're going to continue, of course, with the last thing, which is a report. I guess I hope I'm not going to bore you, which report shouldn't take too long. I might go ahead and do the report directly with this video, so you don't have really to worry about another video. So what we could do here is close this, save, of course, the query. I'm going to say query books and their author, and immediately I could go and go to the report wizard. Since we do have actually two entities, many to many, I could group easily one report all by the book, or I could group the query by the author. I'm going to go ahead and do that by author now, and I could go ahead and do this. For example, author, I need to go ahead and get the I don't need to get the first name and last name. I wanted to go ahead and get, of course, the query. That's where all the data, and I could go ahead and do that. Okay, next, and make sure that I wanted to have the full name only for the author, and their books is going to be really the list. And I could go ahead and say next, next, and I could sort that by title of the book, and I could leave it as portrait and maybe change it to landscape if we have more room. Definitely I need to change that to RPT, and here we go, finish, and here is my report. Really nice. It shows, of course, some redundant data regarding the price, which really should be showing with that, but just to get you an idea how to do the grouping, I could go ahead and close this and go to the title layout rather, and do the thing that I need to do in order to tweak that, say list of author. I don't have to put really the price or the tax in the full price for this report, because you could choose whatever piece of data you want. You don't have to grab everything from the query. So I could say here list of authors, or authors list. Okay, I could easily do that, and of course you could do that by highlighting all those by pressing the shift key in order to make this stand out. You go to format, you could make it this one here, red. I don't know if red is the appropriate color for this one here, just to get the point across. You know, John Smith has wrote two books, but the same book he wrote that for the system analysis was written also with Jack Roberts. Also, Mary Perez also helped writing the system analysis. Of course, this doesn't mean too much really to see the data being repeated here, but we did not really create a data redundancy in the database because we never entered the same piece of data more than once. If the report will generate it. This is not a good report, but it's because from a business point of view, unless you wanted to really constantly looking at what is the price of that book that was written by Mary Smith or Mary Perez, we know system analysis we know the price of the system analysis directly from here. Okay, let me go ahead and undo for that pull. And I probably will agree with me if I'm going to do some calculation about all this number, it's not going to be helpful. So either I could go ahead and change that to, let me go ahead and show you here in the layout. This is the layout. Okay, and I could go ahead and click on that, click on that, click on that, and hit delete. The same thing here, hit delete, and the same thing, hit delete, and I could take that out very easily from my report. Of course, you could pull that directly here, and you need to really pull the whole thing here, and you could really tweak it however you want. So basically, I'm not going to really discuss too much of the business side of it because you could choose what type of report. The next report we could have done is really to group it by book. So the book will be on the top and the list of the authors is going to be at the bottom. I hope you have enjoyed this, and let me know if you really find it to be useful. We could record more videos in the future. Thank you very much for taking your time to watch these videos. Bye-bye.